Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jamber. Today, it's going to be all NBA. The first four segments, we're talking about the Pistons-Knicks game in one, Denver-LA in the second one. The NBA Anonymous Player Poll came out. I want to talk about that. I think that's, it's pretty important. We'll preview the game for tonight, and then we're going to end off in the NFL with a quick little mock draft, just the top 5-6 teams. See who takes who. Yeah. Before we get to any of that, though, tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. By tipping and donating, it shows that you guys care about the content that we put out, and we put our all into these videos. So if you do want to tip or donate and you're in the live stream, feel free to do so with the super chat and sticker donation feature. And if you're not in the live stream and you want to tip or donate, the two links in the bio and description are the best way to do that. Even if you're not in the live stream and you want to leave a comment, I'll see that as soon as you post it in the comment section or the live stream comment section. So I'll get to that as soon as I see it or as soon as I get the time to talk about it. And I love being able to talk to you guys. It's my job, so I'm doing what I do. So please feel free to leave a comment and I'll respond to that as soon as I see it. But like I said, if you do want to tip or donate and you're in the live stream, feel free to do that with the super chat and sticker donation feature. And if you're not in the live stream, the two links in the bio and in the description are the best way to do that. With that being said, let's get into the content for today, shall we? First segment I want to talk about. The Detroit Pistons versus the New York Knicks. The battle of the 3 and the 6, Game 2 in Madison Square Garden did not disappoint. So far, this series has been nothing short of amazing. Both these games have been very close. Both these games have just been a really good watch, a really fun watch, and I've always, I've watched every minute. And at no point throughout the series have I said, this is really boring, I want to turn this off. I love it. This whole series so far, you got guys like Cade, Cunningham, the 2 games he's played so far in the series, playing phenomenal. You got, Jalen Brunson for the Knicks. I mean, these 2 guards, both these all-star players playing on one side of the ball against each other, it's just so cool to see. These guys play such different styles. It's insane. Like for Jalen Brunson, for example, I really don't enjoy. I'm gonna say I don't like the way he plays recently. He's been foul baiting a lot, and it's very obvious, and it's very boring to watch. Last night you saw a lot in the fourth quarter and third quarter. He would pull up for a 3, someone would jump up. Let's say he's getting guarded by Tim Hardaway or Asar Thompson. He's jumping, and he stops his jumper to literally just jump into them and throw it up and draw the foul. That's just not fun basketball to watch. I really don't enjoy watching that, and I don't enjoy the way he's playing. Yeah, he had 37 points, but it was the least unfun 37 points I think I've ever seen in my life. I think it was just a very dull way to play the game, and I don't think it's the right way to play. I think foul baiting should be highly sought after. No, it shouldn't be allowed. They need to put rules in place to make sure they can't just jump into these guys for fouls. I just think it's really stupid. Let's go over a quick box score. A little recap of the game. Sorry about that. Through the points. I'm going to keep putting my notebook down so it doesn't hurt you guys' ears. Cade, 33, 12, and 3. Cade played so good last night. He was scoring. He was taking it to the lane a lot. He hit a few pull-up threes that were really clutch to the Pistons. He had a lot of good shots towards the end of the game. He was shooting better. And, 33 points, 12 rebounds. He's a big guard, and he's a guard that really likes to get nasty in the paint. He likes to, get active. He likes to make noise. And Cade Cunningham last night with his 12 rebounds proved that against a very big New York Knicks team, players who are a lot bigger. Karl Towns. Josh Hart as well. Josh Hart's a pretty big guard as well. But, not only him, Mikal Bridges. OG Anunoby. They got big guys. And the New York Knicks are a big team. And Cade Cunningham liked to get in the middle of it and get his rebounds. I like that. Jalen Duren, a really consistent double-double player. 12 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. His 12 points, he's all of his points are coming from dunks. It's literally half of, 3 of Cade's assists, I'm pretty sure, out of the 3, I'm pretty sure 2 of them were just from throwing alley-oops to Duren, and it works. Duren, he's just so physically just an athlete. He's just an athlete, straight up. And It just shows. The way he can get off the ground at his size and so fast and so like he gets such good height on his jump. He's like a freak of nature, and his 13 rebounds also prove that. He's only 21 years old, and he is so strong. He's very physical. He's a very good athlete. Like I said, he can jump off the ground fast, high, and he just gets up in the air. And he's a really good basketball player. And I think Jalen Duren in the Eastern Conference I think he's a top 5 center. In the playoffs, I think he's I'll say like a top 3 center. I think he's a top 3 center in the East. But overall in the Eastern Conference, I mean, yeah, like he's still a top 3. In the league, definitely like a top 7. But he's a really good center. Granted, he's so young and he still has a lot to learn. But even at his young age, he's still proven to be one of the best players on this young Pistons team. Tobias Harris, a good vet pickup for the Pistons this season, even though they drafted him a few years ago or a little while ago and they brought him back. Great pickup. Tobias Harris, 15 points, 13 boards, 1 assist. The stats don't show how good of a defensive player Tobias Harris is as well. 15 points, very calm. Nothing. Like 15 points is a good amount. 13 boards for a guard. That's like him and Cade. They're both decently big guards who are able to shoot the ball very effectively and also get boards. I love seeing that. Tobias was playing very, very tough defense on Karl Anthony Towns last night, and that's why he only ended up having 10 points. Tobias is playing him very tight. He's also playing Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart very tight. They both also, Bridges had like 20, but Josh Hart only had 10. Tobias Harris is a very, very underrated defender. Sorry, I'm just gonna move this. I don't want this hurting your guys' ears. I'm sorry, I gotta move this. I'm just gonna hold it for now. But I mean, Tobias Harris is just an underrated defender. He plays very hard-nosed, face-to-face defense. He likes to face guard. He likes to go for a lot of steals. And if you're going for a dunk, best believe he's going up with you. I mean, he's looking to block you. Same with Isaiah Stewart. But they both play very similar. But Tobias Harris for a guard really likes to, just get in the paint, get boards, and he does it very well. Dennis Schroeder off the bench. Obviously, he's not a starter for the Pistons most of the time. But when he comes off the bench, he has a very big impact. 20 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Dennis Schroeder is one of the most valuable players that the Pistons were able to secure in this, free agency, and it's in the trade deadline. And 20 points, especially with that 3-pointer with a minute left in the fourth quarter, it was phenomenal. They were tie game, 94s on the board, and Dennis Schroeder, who is statistically known not a very good 3-point shooter, has an open look. He takes it, hits a takeaway 3. They're up 97-94, and you just hear Madison Square Garden just all the momentum, all the energy just whisked away. It just went away, and obviously, I'm a Pistons fan, so obviously that was amazing to see. I was at the gym when that happened. I had it on my phone while I was mid-set, and I just hear Dennis Schroeder with the 3, and you can hear the announcers going crazy. You hear the switch. I mean, it was an amazing shot. It was it was a left arc, just pulls up, bang. And seeing a Dennis Schroeder shot going is always very good to see because it shows that he's a great player. He's not obviously the best shooter in the world, but he's a very good playmaker. You see him a lot, even though he's only had 3 assists, but he was doing a lot with the ball. He was driving and kicking it out a lot, creating open looks. And the Pistons weren't shooting the best last night. Tim Hardaway Jr. had 0 points last night. He went 1 for 6 from 3, and about 4 of those passes to him were from Schroeder driving to the lane, kicking out for him. It was Dennis Schroeder was a phenomenal pickup for the Pistons, and he's still proving why he's so good and so, valuable to this team. Take it over to the New York side. Like I was saying earlier, Jalen Brunson, 37, 3 and 7. The most boring, basically 40 bomb I've ever seen in my life. His foul baiting just isn't cutting it for me. Yeah, everybody foul baits, but he was doing it last night. If you go back, watch the game, watch the highlights, it is just so boring to watch him just go for a 3 and intentionally just jump into anybody guarding him and he draws the foul. And he was getting mad towards the end of the game that the refs weren't calling it, which were the right calls, because you could see it was obviously him jumping into it, causing contact, and that's not a foul. That's an offensive foul. They just weren't calling it, and he was getting pissed off. And I just thought, that was the right thing for the refs to do, is to not call it. He still had 37, and he was the reason the Knicks were in that game because not a single person on the Knicks had over 20 besides him. But, I know everybody's going to score 20. But, I mean, he was the only one on the team who was really keeping him in that entire game. Mikal Bridges, 19 and 5. 19 boards, 19 points, 5 rebounds. I mean, he's pretty good. I mean, he definitely, when he got traded from Brooklyn to New York, I already thought that was a phenomenal trade. I did too. But he really hasn't shown it this year. Mikal Bridges has not played that good this year, since leaving Brooklyn at least. You would think, he's moved teams like 20 minutes away. You think he wouldn't, de-prove that much. You'd think he would have improved being on a better team. In fact, he's not. I mean, he just hasn't, played that well all season. Not shooting the best, not getting a lot of boards. Obviously not passing it. As you can see, he had 0 assists. I mean, he's just not playing the best. And, I mean, that's going to hurt your team come playoff time. And then Josh Hart, 10 points, 7 boards, 5 assists. Like I said earlier, him and Tobias are play a lot alike. They're both, not the biggest guards in the world, but they like to get active in the paint. And it shows, 7 boards for a guard that's not that big in height, but is a pretty muscular dude. His shooting definitely wasn't on point last night. I'm surprised the Knicks didn't play campaign as much, considering, he had a great night the other night. But the reason the Knicks lost this game, because Thibodeau does not want to use his bench players at all. He plays the same 6-7 guys the entire game, and they're averaging 30 minutes of playing, 40 minutes of playing time. It's insane. Thibs needs to, give his players a rest, because fatigue is obviously in play when watching the Knicks play. They're getting so gassed by mid-fourth quarter. The other these teams come away and just take the lead away. So if I'm Thibs, I'm figuring out a new rotation, figure out a way to keep guys in play while, keeping your stars on the floor while giving guys a rest. That's been a problem all season. But this series, like I said, is most likely, if it keeps us up, it's going to Detroit now. The 2 games are split, 1-1. They're going to Detroit. I could see Detroit going 3-1 in the series and going back to New York with a 3-1 lead. But if that doesn't happen, I think it's going to be another 2-2 split, go back to New York and split again to come back to Detroit for Game 7, which I'd be totally fine with. And this series has been amazing, and I hope it only gets better from here. That's all I got for this segment. Next segment, talking about the Denver Nuggets versus Los Angeles Clippers game last night. After that, NBA Anonymous poll. We're going to talk about the games for tonight, and then end off with a quick little mock draft for the NFL draft coming up this week. We'll get to all that after this break.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jammer. In the first segment, we talked about the New York Knicks versus Detroit Pistons game last night. This segment, we're talking about the other game that happened last night, Los Angeles Clippers versus the Denver Nuggets. After that, we're staying with the NBA, talking about the game for tonight. Then we talk about the NBA Anonymous Player poll that just came out, and with a little mock draft for the NFL draft coming up this week. Before we get into any of that, though, let's talk about tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. By tipping and donating, it means you guys care about the content that we're putting out. So feel free to do that if you really wish. If you do wish to tip and donate, if you're in the live stream, by doing it in the live stream. You can do it with the super chat and sticker feature, or if you're not in the live stream, the 2 links in the bio and in the description. If you do want to leave a comment, just you don't want to